It's a clash of two pandemics, COVID-19 and domestic violence. It's an issue that those working in the shelter system say has worsened since the spread of the virus, and they're fighting to keep up with the spike in calls. At the bottom of your screen, the phone number for anyone who might need help. Approximately every 6 days, a woman is killed by her intimate partner in Canada, and 1 in 3 women will experience violence in her lifetime.
Gender-based violence is a pandemic that has never really truly been dealt with.
Concerning stats for frontline victim services organizations who prior to COVID-19 were already operating at capacity. Now the outbreak is showing further cracks in the system. With unprecedented measures in response to the pandemic, also come new challenges. For one, victims are limited in how they can access victim services.
We had options, and now with the limited options and people stuck at home, abuse probably tends to happen more because, you're just in a cramped space.
There's also now more financial strain on these organizations who were once able to fundraise to cover their costs. With that option gone under distancing measures, they find that as they're helping more women, their costs are also dangerously going up.
We've had to have difficult conversations internally of what we're going to do if we can't, meet our requirements, if we don't have enough money, and, talking about layoffs, talking about cutting back on services. And we don't want to get to that.
Help could be on the way for some shelters. Parliament approving a financial aid package committing some $200 million to help shelters across the country, including those who serve women and children fleeing domestic violence. The province announced an emergency payment of $2.7 million, part of that addressing gender-based violence. Some organizations will see the one-time funding deposited as early as next week.
It's really important that they get that out as quickly as they possibly can, because we're sort of dealing with two issues right now, and we want to ensure that we don't serve fewer women as a result of COVID-19.
With victims facing new barriers in accessing resources, frontline victim services are also looking for more creative ways to outreach. Halton Women's Place recently launched an awareness campaign to engage the community called #Let'sTalkAboutIt, showing support to those who need it.
Also allowing these women and these kids to know that we know that they're out there. We're thinking of them. We want to be able to support them and help them in any way that we can, and showing that the community supports them through this. We know that this is not a time where abuse stops or ends. It never does.
And some police forces across the GTA are also seeing an increase in domestic-related calls. To learn more about that story, take your cell phone camera, point it to the code at the bottom of your screen. It'll take you to our website, where you can also learn more about what measures shelters are taking in response to COVID-19. For City News, I'm Faiza Amin.